I am Selena. I'm part of the career service team here at Domus Academy. I'm very glad to be introducing our guest today, Chloe Lee. Thank you so much for being here today and participating to our webinar. Chloe is currently covering the role of AI governance design lead at IBM. Of course, she's a former Domus Academy student. She attended the master course in business design and graduated in, I think it's 2017. Is that right, Chloe?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I almost lost my memory, but that should be the right year.
Not that long ago. Come on, it's not that long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And the session will be moderated by Andrea Desiato. Andrea, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Andrea has been collaborating with Domus Academy for a few years now, and he is actually the former program leader of the master courses in interaction and service design. So thank you both so much. I'm very glad to, really looking forward to hearing your conversation today. Before they start, I just want to quickly mention that in case you have any questions at the end of their conversation or even during the session, I'm sure Chloe would be happy to answer any questions or doubts you might have. There's the Q&A box on Zoom, so don't be shy. Feel free to ask anything to Chloe. So I think that's it from my side. I leave the word to Chloe and Andrea.
Perfect. Thank you, Selena. Hello, everyone, and thank you, Chloe, of course, for being here. You're joining from Stuttgart, right?
Yes.
Well, as Selena said, I'm also very excited to have you here to show us like your very personal journey through the design field, right? As we have like figured out during our first discussion, it's not been a long journey, as Selena said. It's not been like a long time ago you graduated, but it's been very intense. There has been a lot of experiences that I hope you're gonna tell us about. You want to start about yourself, what you're doing right now, and where you are?
Yeah, sure. I think you put it right, by the way. It was intense. That's why some part of memory even I cannot remember that was too intense, maybe. But yeah,
that's the feeling I had.
That's the feeling.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. So yeah, I'm really happy and excited to share my journey and my story about my career, just how I just landed this let's say design role and just where I'm located. I shared a few words with Andreas and Selena, of course, in the previous meetings about myself, and that was already, giving me a good chance to also reflect myself, like who I am, also what I have learned from Domus, and even before how I was. So yeah, let me start about myself, maybe by sharing my screen. I just quickly
Please go ahead.
Slides. So yeah, let me quickly share my screen. Just let me know if you see the dolphins.
Yes.
And then now you should see my picture.
Yes, correct.
Yes, so hello everyone again. So all the people who are attending from probably different locations, and who are just interested in this topic. Thank you everyone also for attending this. I am Chloe Lee. There's like bracket like saying Jehi, that's my original name, but I'm usually just called as Chloe here, mostly at work, also in casual occasions. So I'm currently working at IBM, the corporation, and then I'm leading a design team over there, and I'm gonna unveil this a little bit more later. So just personal, history briefly. So as I mentioned about my name maybe some of you guys already guessed if you're familiar with Korean names. I'm from South Korea, the capital of this country, so Seoul. And most of my 20th, I would say, I spent my years and years studied and worked over there. Yeah, like most of the childhood memories and also like uni time, that was basically in there. And my first career as UX designer was from this company that is called LG Electronics. Probably some of you guys already heard of. This is kind of home appliances manufacturing company based in Korea. So I started there in the R&D center just as a UX designer. And then after 4 years or something, yeah, I decided to move out of the home country, my main country, and then decided to explore basically different worlds. And I've been living in several different European countries, including Spain, like also like other countries. But I think the major milestone, I'll say, of my life in European countries should be Italy. So Milano, where some of you guys are already there, and where I started basically the business design, master program, as Andrea and also Selena introduced. So that was actually the one of the intensive experience that I had, and I studied, really like kind of like I enjoyed it. That was very fun time, at the same time also quite stressful, because it was kind of like challenging to me. I started as UX designer, but here the major was slightly different, the focus was different. So that was quite challenging, but yeah, in a nutshell, it was a lot of fun. There's one person also who's attending this meeting in this picture. Paolo was also used to be my professor, one of my favorite professor, and I learned a lot from him also. Brand design, the brand strategist, one of my favorite topic, and yet at the end. And then right now, I marked it here. I'm here. I'm located in Stuttgart, Germany, basically where my work is. So after the graduation from the Domus, I worked here and there, just like shortly, and then applied to IBM. Actually, during the master program, I already submitted my portfolio to IBM. So, when there was like some opening, they decided to call to me. So after a few months after my graduation, I got the call, and then, yeah, got this chance. Just briefly talking about my location and where the IBM is. It's a southern part of Germany. Yes, I told about the Stuttgart. But this IBM design, or we call it IBM Studios, usually if we call IBM Design, the design center, I would say. There are so many, studios across the world, but this German located one is like one of the important like studios in Europe, I'll say, apart from the US based one. A lot of like young, super talented designers are already working here and then trained as designers. So in the beginning, I was like super excited just by knowing, this big scale of design community that I'm joining, also like the growth potential that I could have. That was one of the reasons I also applied to this company. Just one picture of our like cute studio where I am. And then, starting here, I started as a UX designer here. And then this experience basically also led me lots of like great opportunities to work with professionals, and also gave me a lot of chance to also win some of the like design awards. Like that was really like hard but exciting journey in this company as well after the move. But yeah, I think most important thing that I want to share today, especially what I am currently working on. So previously, I was usually in the topic of AI and data always, because like the organization that I am working right now since the beginning is, still this like data platform and, data and AI. And then right now, the team that I'm leading is called What's Next Governance Design Team. You probably not have much heard of this name, I'm not sure, because usually IBM sells B2B. So 95+% of the product or services, we sell only B2B. So usually the bigger enterprises and all. And this platform that I am designing and leading is especially developing a platform where, for example, insurance companies or like banks or like government organizations that are utilizing AI for their technology or product can use this platform so that they can build the AI a little bit more kind of controlled way, let's say. So you can build and then you can monitor and watch how it's basically behaving. That's kind of platform that I am working on, and then like it's serving mostly like expert level people like data scientists or like those like AI, I'll say savvy people. Yeah, that's kind of like really high level of the product introduction that I'm working on. And actually, a few months ago, my team prepared ourselves to submit the application to IF Design Award, and we basically internally as a team created a short 2-minute video about what we are working and why that it is very important for let's say us as creators, but also the people who are using it. So I wanted to quickly share this, but before that, Andrea,
That sounds perfect.
anything? Can I continue, or do you have anything?
Yes, please go ahead. Actually, perfect timing with the video, right?
Yeah, I just wanna make sure the video sound is working. Let me know. I'll just quickly
Yeah.
click.
AI has
Yeah, it works.
Okay, I'll go back. One sec.
AI has the power to transform the way we live and work. It allows us to make decisions faster and uncover new insights. But AI is not risk-free. And given its rapid growth and broad adoption, the public has real concerns around the impacts of things like bias, privacy violations, and misinformation. That is why we created Watson X Governance. Our mission is to empower users to deploy trusted AI with enhanced regulatory compliance, better AI lifecycle tracking, and proactive risk mitigation. By using a simple task-focused interface, non-technical users can easily identify AI project risk, reducing a week or months-long process to a matter of minutes. AI developers and business owners can monitor these risks across configurable dashboards and customizable workflows, set up to track trends over time. AI risk mitigation isn't a one-time thing, but rather a process of tracking and management throughout the entire project lifecycle. From training to deployment, complex AI details are automatically organized within a fact sheet, creating a single transparent overview of how an AI model is built and how it performs. More technical users like AI developers and data scientists can take this a step further. Our evaluation studio provides a simple, visual way to compare and assess with AI performance metrics such as fairness and model health, helping users to easily identify which model performs best. Most importantly, Watson X Governance provides real-time insights into deployed AI to continuously identify and proactively resolve any ethical concerns that could negatively impact their business. Users can examine issues that might be occurring with drift over time, or understand a certain feature's impact on the model's decisions, making it easy to quickly prevent harmful outcomes. We're excited for the breakthroughs AI will bring and hope that Watson X Governance can help organizations deliver these innovations today for a brighter tomorrow.
Yep. So that was really like quick introduction of what we are doing and why AI governance, we believe it is important for not just like end users, but also the big companies who are handling those AI assets. So I showed it so you maybe, audiences and also everyone here understand roughly what I am doing, but also wanted to show it so what I would say as UX designer and design lead of this team cares the most about. So as you can see in the video, I don't think we showed a lot of interfaces or, like visual, like flashy designs or something, although we have some more. Because in terms of UX, what I believe it is the most important thing is on top of course, like good usability, utility, everything is important. But on top of that, the most important thing is the users or stakeholders of this platform or service we provide. They completely understand why it's made and what's the purpose behind the task that they are performing. So I think that's what we really try to communicate through this video. And that's what I also always remind my team members, also stakeholders, what the core intention of our design and work. So this is actually also summarizing the role in IBM as UX designer or design lead, what you need to do. And I think this is also partially what I learned from Domus, business design and strategists and everything. When you work as a designer, it's not just like design on the surface things. Of course, that's important. That's your like basic skill that you need to do. But I think on top of it, what you are always asked to do, especially when you're handling, communications, collaborations, mostly if you're working in the company, like it should be like that. You are asked to do kind of to lead people so that they are convinced to move forward towards a certain goal, right? And then that goal should be not just like earning money or like just like the surface level. It should be also like it should be compelling impact, I would say. So that's what I really wanted to show here. And of course, like this is usually, delivered through this kind of storytelling, but also we care the details as well. That's why I also laid out here what we are doing in detail. So nitty gritty, but the interface design, of course, we do when it comes to tracking AIs, how it is performing, showing scores, how do we show it a little bit more like, I'll say smoothly so that users understand based on the priority, the information is consumed. How do we also communicate how different AI assets are performing so that users immediately understand what's better and what's not better, what's not working well. So like those things are also like the details that we must care about. That's like, I think basic design. Yeah.
I'm curious how it is to work with the kind of let's say personas, right? That are tech savvy, but also it's like a business kind of stakeholder. So how it is?
You mean there are too many various different kind of personas, so where we put the focus, is that your question? Or
yeah, but like how do you design this for the kind of people, the kind of like tech savvy personas, or the fact that it's B2B, the product, right? Where do you put your focus?
Yeah, I mean, focus must be, of course, understanding those like deep technical people's background. And then we frequently talk to those SMEs or like technology-based people within our organization already. So only in the beginning, even like requirement discovery phases of the design, we include them directly in the design thinking processes. So they are always in the loop. So, we cannot definitely, work blindly because I'm definitely not the tech people, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we design by learning and talking to those tech people. That's what all we do. Yeah. Is that,
Yeah.
am I answering your question or?
Yeah. I mean, it probably is like it's complicated, right? To work on this kind of
A lot of headache.
tools with people who are like tech savvy that know the tool better than you sometimes, or like the things behind the tool in the background. You have still to make the interface easy enough for everyone to use and to understand what's going on.
Yeah, that is actually, you pointed out the good part that I was sometimes struggling in the beginning. So we work directly, with those tech-based people or SMEs, and they always have certain answer because they know a lot better, of course, about technologies, and they have some kind of solution already in their mind, but that might not be the best solution for the users who are actually using. You know what I mean?
Yes,
that oftentimes
absolutely.
too detailed, like, complex, and then complex problems are solved with this complex solutions. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that was like a lot of like, difficulties in the beginning to make those kind of balance between the knowledge and the interpretation of their information.
Right.
But yeah, we always try to, that's why we always involve the real user, not probably always, but in each milestone of the design. So concept design or validation, a lot of like phases, like we keep the loop. So
yes, that's so important.
Prevent those situations.
That's important in every design practice, right? Especially like these complex tools and things comes in place. You said you are not tech savvy, but I know that you went through also some IoT home appliances stuff. So I'm very curious for if you can share with us also all the different paths that you took during your design life.
Yeah. Definitely, I have quite various, I would say, experiences in my career in terms of domain I have been working for. So yeah, started with this home appliances. That was already too technical to me, like manufacturing, all of those things, like, I didn't know deep because I also didn't know fully about the product design, product management, like those things. So I just straightly jumped into this water, I would say, after learning theoretical UX design in my university time. And then when I came to Domus, yes, it was more focusing on the business design. It's another story, like brands, like fashion brand, museum, like other like magazine brand, like completely different story than appliances, definitely. So there was like whole like eye-opening experience to me to experience different fields. And then after that, so I think it was right after graduation or almost at the end of the Domus program. Yes, I had like 2 months or something short project with things in Milano, the design studio that had a IoT project with some other like startup company in US. So that time I was sent to San Francisco and then had this 2 month of project. And then IoT was something that I experienced already in LG, but still it was like health device, and I had to also learn a lot while designing. So I wouldn't say I was really good with my performance, but still I learned a lot throughout this experience. And also I can mention about the Versace. So that was an internship program when I was studying in business design, and I in general was like very interested in fashion because like my family, some of the people are working in the fashion industry, and then I was just genuinely curious. How might I work in fashion industry, but still as UX designer, because that's all I can do. So I applied as intern for Versace, and then they hired me as UXer, but under marketing team. So that was interesting because, like, their view to hire and then, use this profession of UX was like kind of different than I expected and that I experienced. Because like there's a traditional fashion company, they put more focus and priority on, advertisement, like online commercial visualization. So of course it can be part of user experience, but in terms of like deep skill set usage and growing my career a little bit more like higher sustainably, I thought, okay, I think this experience is good. And then I want to move on, maybe back to my industry. That could be easier and also long-term perspective that could be. So that's why I think at the end I ended up with IBM, which I already learned about design thinking maturity they have. They have a lot of developed things already. Big design community. Yeah. So
that's true. Yeah. So as we said in the beginning, it's been like an interesting experience, a lot of different experiences actually. And my next question, which I know the answer because it was probably one of the first questions I had for you, and I'm pretty sure the audience also is very curious about coming from UX design, from home appliances. Why did you choose business design as a master?
Yeah, actually, I was asked like multiple times, even when I applied to IBM. So it was simple to me, actually. When I was in LG, like 4th year, I was like really, I felt like I'm very comfortable with my work. After 3-4 years, you get to know how to do some stuff. But there were like certain occasions that bothered me a little bit. That was whenever we were meeting with business department or like a little bit like higher horizontal level of experience of product or services, I felt I'm a little bit limited in terms of my knowledge or experiences, because like those people who are coming from the business part, like they had like a lot other perspectives in terms of marketing, how to communicate this product in a really higher level, end-to-end experience, while I was always like focusing on vertical experience, how to increase the usability, how to do, this certain piece of the experience. So I thought, I want to learn a little bit more about, in general, a little bit, horizontal level of design. That means not just UX, but also the surrounded phases of the design. So strategic part, also branding part, and together with also different industry experience, because I felt, that was for the first time I developed it, like started as UX designer only within this like IT or product manufacturing industry. Just, I needed such kind of chances so that I'm more exposed to other areas. And then I saw Domus as providing exactly those like topics there, and also business design particularly had, by reading the program, provided lots of like collaborations with different brands. So that's why I was like, yeah, that fits.
Yeah,
that was the reason.
True. I don't know if you have anything else to share. Otherwise, you can stop sharing maybe, and so the audience and me can, feel free to share anytime, of course. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like the main focus of all your path is like the idea of the width of design experiences, right? So it's like not going only on a vertical design aspect, but like trying to broaden your perspective.
Exactly.
How did Domus help you in that sense? How was your Domus experience also overall?
Yeah, so as I briefly mentioned, this business design, as it implies also, it gave like lots of other perspectives to me to view design, like how to also plan, or like how do I say, like from the beginning, how to build this kind of product or design from the perspective of business strategy. So like I never even cared about those numbers or like calculating stuff. But yeah, we also learned as a part of program, which was very interesting. And as I mentioned, that was my purpose. Like I wanted to look at other spectrums of design progress, but also not just the major perspective, but also those soft values I took from Domus I think it was huge. So I got to work with really different people with a different background, because of business design, there were so many different people from, I don't know, some people majored product design, some people majored visual design, some people didn't even studied design. So there were like those various people working together just naturally taught me how to talk to those different people with the different levels and skills.
Yeah.
Because in the same company and same project, you already have expectation. They already understand some parts, but I think it was really a soft value, but very big thing I learned from Domus.
Yeah.
And it's master, right? So many people, not everyone, like some, also most of them strictly came from their bachelor, but some of them also, like myself, studied and worked already.
Yeah.
So that was also like great to connect with those professionals already while studying. Yeah, I would say these are the things.
Yeah. I mean, in general, Domus offers like this kind of huge breadth of professionalities, or even like nationalities, right? Different people from different nationalities, which is also a very interesting perspective. And did you also have the chance to work with other masters during your year?
Yeah, we got to work with visual design, the communication design master program, even interior, I think. We had a project for museum experience. Of course, we need someone from, spatial design. So yeah, we really, I never had the chance to work with such professionals outside master programs. So that was also, I wouldn't say it was easy, but that was very interesting.
Why?
Just, you're not familiar, to communicate their languages, I would say. And I don't know details, like interior design and so on, but somehow we figured out how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, true. What do you think are the most valuable skills or, I don't know, perspectives you gained from Domus?
I gained.
Something
So
that you still apply, right, today, that you feel like in your current role, you can refer to those years at Domus.
I mean, very aligned with the previous sentiment that I shared. So those like different expertise, as I grow within this, current organization, I also need to deal with so many different people, not just designers, of course, like other disciplines. And then this learning experience, at least, you have the feeling that I already had such kind of small experience of before, that already gives me a lot of power to me.
Yeah.
Like I already, have talked to some people, some of those also from like nationality wise.
Right.
I
Working
think
in team with different nationalities and
with
different
different
backgrounds.
nationalities, like you know what, like Domus was for the first time to me really directly worked with the people outside Korea, so non-Koreans.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think this is the big thing, really, to me, a big thing. And for sure, knowledge or theory that I learned, for example, Paulo taught this kind of brand design and strategy. Some of the frameworks that he shared still is impacting how I frame when it comes to communicate the brand design. I also do. I think those things are also, of course, one of the things that I can mention, but just in general, I think this environment that Domus provides naturally is already kind of good learning that you can take away.
Yeah. And is there anything you wished you had known before, like, or learned during those years at Domus before coming to the workforce, before coming back to working?
You mean something I wish to learn when I was at school?
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah.
It's just
Wait. You said Italian or Italians? Because
Italian.
I can see both things. Would be interesting to understand.
Yeah.
To learn about.
No,
Yeah.
it's half kidding, but also half, if you know the language deeper, really like completely, then I feel like you learn a lot more, even though Domus is providing fully English-based program. I just wished I studied more and prepared myself so I can communicate to the local people, because like there are also outside Domus, there are so many opportunities like conferences, like events. Sometimes the language was like limited for me, so yeah, but maybe that one.
Yeah, but that's mostly for the outside, right? But I guess in Domus everything was, and it's still like really right. Yeah. And it's kids based?
Sorry?
Besides Italian.
Besides
Oh, yeah. But actually, like, I have another question right now. I'm curious. Is there anything, maybe not back then, of course, because it was a little bit below the radar, but nowadays, if our students want to, get into the AI field, what would you suggest to them?
What I suggest? That's a good question.
Because I'm also, and I'm attaching another question to this because I'm curious about your main takeaway by working with this tool, with AI for governance. Like, what did you get from working with AI tools that, I don't know, surprised you about AI and this whole AI world that we are soaking into?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Something that I wouldn't say surprises me, but a little bit like, make me concerned. I guess many people also have this fear, like a lot of news mediums, they talk about how autonomous AI can be.
Yeah.
It can be even above human ability and, things like that. My concern is not because AI can be that much powerful, but more of people in general and users or like companies, they're not entirely, I would say, super transparent about how AI is built and then how it is used, or you don't really care what's behind or within this like black box, and then you use of it and then just scared of, oh, what's going on? Because that's how I feel. If you know a little bit, underneath what's happening, under the water, what's happening, it can be less fearful.
Okay.
That's what I'm, okay, not concerning, but just thinking a lot, designing. So just coming back to the point, what I want to tell to the people who want to work in the AI industry, I think this is super important to always think. It's not about utilizing AI and then producing quantity of the product or some services based off AI, but also we as designers or like users should be responsible of or with what we are doing. Because like AI is like, kind of little kid without much control. And then we as human need to, take control over it so that it can enhance us, not like replace us. So that's how I view how I view AI design. And yeah, in the past, I like this quote that some of like AI leaders in our company said, in the past, we were trying to learn computer languages and everything, but right now, it's like AI is trying to learn what we do, right? So our responsibility is even more like bigger. We have responsibility to teach it better in the right way. So yeah, I think as a designer, we are also huge responsibility if you are working in this area. Yeah.
I find it very interesting the concept of enhancing instead of replacing, right? Because like the laziest thing we can do with AI is like trying to have AI emulates or replace our tasks. But it would be more interesting, even though it means like putting some extra effort to like trying to figure out how to use AI to enhance our everyday tasks or our job.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Perfect. Thank you, Chloe. I think we have like now some time to open the floor for questions from the attendees. Feel free to write your questions into the Q&A box. And maybe Chloe can answer. Let's see if there's any question. Yeah. Meanwhile, if you have any other AI insights for us, feel free to share those. No, I'm always curious about people who like work in AI, in companies. Because every day, I hope actually that all of us are using AI for like the daily tasks.
Yeah.
Because we have to, right? Nowadays we have to. But I'm curious of those people who like actually craft the AI tools and probably figure out some different stuff that we don't see because we just use the tools and we don't craft the tools.
Nowadays, I would say, like previously when we talk about large language model or, like this huge AI models, we often describe it as black box because it's really hard to know everything. Like, it's like our brain, right? You can't connect everything, so you know how it decided something. But nowadays, what I learn a lot about agentic AI applications or like some AIs like recently developed, you can actually track better how it make decisions. So if you really go a little bit deeper inside. So I think that's also one good point that we can think of. It's not like you put on something and then the black box, shows output, but you can see a little bit of like, tracing information. That's what we are also working on, so that we can show the information as transparent as possible to those experts, so they know, for example, what the root causes of the problem is. Why is it me? Why is it, creating this kind of fake images, even though I didn't prompt it?
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, like point coming back to this fact that even though you or also I, like everyone, not everyone, but most of us, I would say, like who are studying design, we're not the technical people. I think we are responsible to learn a little bit more about behind the scene, not just like blindly using, but why, like how is it working so it answers like that? Like I think these kind of questions are always important.
We have a few questions for you, Chloe. Let's see. Let's start from the first one from Priyal. What can help one prepare for the transition from studying design at Domus and working in the field, specifically when working with the tech and AI space? Can you provide us any tips on that front?
Transition from studying design at Domus and working in the field. What design field? Probably not like specifically, in this AI domain. And then when you want to really enter to this industry, what kind of tips I can share? Is that probably?
Yeah, I guess that's like the...
Yeah, that's a good question, and also constantly connected to the similar point. But I think,
I think like you shared in the beginning the fact that you, while working at Domus, while studying at Domus, you already sent the CV to IBM, and that helps. And so, how can students have this transition between studying and working, especially in that field?
Andrea,
what can they do?
Sorry, you pointed that really well, because I was already very much interested in what those like tech companies are doing when it comes to design around it. Like I also was like there, and then I was in general curious like how they are developing their organization and then prepare themselves with design field. And then that curiosity and interest led into this kind of opportunities, of course. It's just like not just given and, like, oh, I will go there, so I'll start working there. I think it's really the constant kind of, radar on, like I am, curious, so I want to research about it, although maybe like, there is always like, direct chance. Collecting and researching by, oneself. I think this is really, really important. Yeah, in general, this AI domain requires a lot of knowledge as well. And then it doesn't just come one day. And then it took me also over 4 hours or something just to get familiar with it. So I think just, big interest and, utilizing so many different mediums like YouTube, like reading papers and things like that. So genuinely you get to this topic a little bit deeper. I think that will prepare yourself more, from, maybe transitioning yourself like a generic designer to specific domain focused one. Yeah, general answer I'll say, but still basic is gold.
Yeah. There's no short way, right? You have to go deeper into the field and
time investment and
probably coming to AI in general in tech, but especially with AI nowadays is like probably like staying on the top of the trends of the development of the tools, etc., because they change very, very fast.
Yeah, if I may share, like some of the nerdy people around me in IBM, they're designers, but they are like, I can't even sigh because of them, because they're like always like, hey, like, did you see this, like, recent UI AI based, It's so interesting. Like they're really like naturally curious and then try different things. I think that this just naturally develop themselves also.
Yeah, true. We have another question from Anurag. Was asking, how does your organization, IBM, handle potential conflicts between AI development and ethical considerations?
Oh, that's a good question. So it's oftentimes the companies think AI governance, or like ethical considerations or regulations, even, EU AI Act or like something like strong regulations as kind of leashing your neck. So it's like, blocking them from developing faster. But IBM views it a little bit differently. So it's for the sustainable development, long term, less risk and then less future cost of violation of the regulations and everything. You have to be ethically correct. Otherwise, short term, you can produce like a lot of things and then get, profits, but long term, it's like dead end. So how we handle this is AI governance or ethical considerations, not as leash or like, hurdle for the companies, but kind of norm for long-term development.
Yeah.
And then become corporations understand the value. That's also how we drive the communication, and then we work together.
We have a question from Stefano. Good evening. How do you see the correlation between AI and sustainability growing? And do you think we could find ways to use AI in an environmental friendly way?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother view. I know, I can always talk about my company because that's where I am. I know IBM even have some project related to it. AI helping sustainable environment by automatically detecting environmentally harmful, factors so that you can be already prepared as a city or things like that. So definitely, AI has huge potential to, if you use it good way, the predictions and everything more accurate, and you can future plan things. So definitely it has potential, I would see, but yeah.
Yeah, it has to, right? Because from what we've seen, we don't see that because it's like, again, it's in the background, it's in the black box.
Yeah.
But AI has a big impact on the from the environmental point of view. It consumes a lot, and yeah, so hopefully it will help us actually to tackle the environmental issues.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's another story about when it comes to developing AI models and everything, it actually consumes
a lot.
I'll say tons of energy,
Right.
water,
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
So that's another task that big businesses and corporations are working on. So we can reduce this energy consumption while we can optimize the performance of AI.
Yeah. We should be mindful also while using AI on that side, I guess. Pretty sure, we know that the training is the most consuming part of the AI. But of course, if we keep using also for for every task, for everything, maybe we should be a little bit mindful of the fact that still it's something that pollutes. But we should be mindful also when we send a simple message, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Last question from Sanche Lee. Why did you decide to study especially in Italy? And are there any benefits to studying in Italy?
Short answer, I didn't.
There's so many benefits. Come on, we know.
Come on, before we go on to this topic, I
We
didn't
only have 5 minutes
Italy.
to answer, so we can go with the full list. But
Yeah, of course, those things
of
I can't
course,
even I cannot even list, you know?
yeah, exactly. No.
But actually, that's the thing that I realized after coming to Milano. But before, when I decided to come here, I didn't choose Italy, but I chose Domus. Why?
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
first, this program provided very practical curriculum. I didn't want to focus on theoretical part too much. And then most of the universities, master programs, they provided really academic like studies and everything that I didn't care too much. Of course, we have such things, but Domus is very strong at collaboration with the industries and different project-based, curriculums. That's why I chose Domus. And then also it's super intensive. So I didn't want to spend like 4 years or something for, studying
Yeah.
one horizontal field that I was interested in. The period was also very optimal. So yeah, I didn't choose Italy, but I chose Domus. But since I arrived there, I got to know that was a lot of better things here. Food, Milano. I think you don't have to question this part.
Yeah. Yeah. There are many benefits. First from Domus, and then especially also from
Then you
being in
learn about
Italy.
the
That
packages.
yeah. Okay. Anurag is asking another question actually, and it's asking what trends or innovations do you foresee shaping the future of AI governance in the tech industry or overall?
Trends and innovations do you
Yeah.
foresee? Wow. Foresee. I wish I can foresee everything. Um, I think I'm too high. How to say? I have work high. There's an expression like I'm super enthusiastic, like passionate with the topic that I'm working on. Maybe that's like where I'm biased, but the future of AI governance, I believe, is it becomes more like norm. Like right now, still many of the companies they're like taking it as additional value. We develop something, especially like fastly, developing, development focused companies. They have to create profit, and then governance is like secondary, value. But they're just also aware of regulations are coming, so we have to be prepared. Like their stance is like that. But in the near future, really, we see also like data and everything by talking to the clients. Governance is like here. Like you have to do at the end. It's like a how to say the environmental change nowadays.
Yeah.
Like at one point you are above the tipping point, and then you're like, oh, we had to prepare.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like ethical considerations, compliance to those regulations, that's already there, and then I think a lot more companies will be asked to equip with it.
Okay. Something we should keep in our mind. Okay. We have time for one extra question, or unless there's no questions, if Chloe wants to share any final thoughts or maybe advice for our student.
Oh, these things are always
Yeah.
difficult. But no, I think I'll just use this time to thank everyone. I think it's very like late evening for some people, so I'm really appreciated to meet with all of you, although I couldn't see the faces. And also Andrea and Selena, like thanks a lot for arranging this meeting for me, because it was really fun also getting to know you as well. So we have also some other chances to talk together.
So it was my pleasure. Hopefully we'll meet in Milan.
Yes, I'm coming.
I mean,
I'm coming Milan.
yeah.
Milan, yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for the talk. To be fair, actually, you shared so much. So I don't think there are any other tips you should share because it was already enough. I'm pretty sure the students benefit from your perspective and point of view. So thank you so much, Chloe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Also from me, Chloe and Andrea. Grazie mille. Thank
Yeah.
you thank you to all the attendees, and also thank you to the attendees for the really interesting questions, I think. Chloe, it was super nice to hear your conversation with Andrea, and I will definitely see you in Milan. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Grazie, Andrea. Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.